fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning.
What's going on, guys? Our old Racerred channel. Out here riding a race course a little bit. I'm not pre-riding it. But I am riding it. This is what Idaho desert racing looks like. I haven't done other desert races really besides in Idaho, but from what I hear, other places have like just vast areas with no obstacles where you're just wide open. Idaho, it's not like that. You're riding in the rolling hills of the desert. It's like high desert, low mountain area, lots of rocky terrain, big canyons of rock, and there are rocks protruding out of everywhere. You have to be very careful with those. It's a really diverse area, Idaho in general, so it doesn't matter if you're in the desert or in the mountains, you're going to run into varying terrain. It's not going to just be flat out wide open. I have to tell you guys a funny story. Well, let me start at the bunker. So there's a bunker out here somewhere. Inside this bunker, somebody put this big stuffed animal. I went there, it scared the crap out of me. I made a video about it, kinda. It's in one of my videos, I should say. Oh God, what is that? Is that dead?
It is dead.
Is that...
It's a stuffed animal. Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah, they put a stuffed animal in there, kind of just to scare people, I think. And it's pretty funny, but... So, a good friend of mine, he took a trip there, saw the stuffed animal from a distance because it's in the dark, and he apparently left it without fully knowing what it was. He called to it, it didn't move. It looks real, I mean... It's scary. So he called to it and he was like, okay, this dog, whatever that is not moving. I don't want to get bit, so he left. Well, not that long after, a person had put out something on social media looking for her dog. And she was hiking in that same area and lost her dog. So my friend said that he saw a dog that was in that area, and it was in that bunker. So she goes out, all the way back out there. She goes to the bunker, finds the stuffed animal, messages him. She's like, you sick freak. She's so pissed off because he sent her all the way out in the desert to find a stuffed animal when her dog is lost. He felt so bad because he legitimately thought that was a real dog the whole time. It's just one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life. He ends up paying for her travel to go back out there and apologizing, and he's a really good dude. He didn't mean to make her go all the way out in the desert just to find a stuffed animal in a bunker. But it is funny. I mean, you have to admit, that's pretty funny. One of the funniest stories I've ever heard. If you guys have a hilarious story like that, you should put it in the comments so I can read it. Maybe I'll tell your story in one of my next upcoming videos. I've had some pretty good ones throughout the years. Usually they're not that funny in the moment though. I was at the grocery store not that long ago, and I separated from the family to grab something, and I saw their cart come around the corner, and I jumped up in the air and dunked some mayonnaise into their cart, only to look up and find out it wasn't their cart and it was some old lady pushing it. So, you know, stuff happens. Also, I've got another buddy who used to do bagger work at Albertsons. He used to bag people's groceries. And he was helping this old lady out. He's taking their stuff to her car and everything. He bagged it all up, put it all in her trunk, and her latch wouldn't latch. He kept slamming it. And she was driving like this Suburban type thing. And yeah, he couldn't get her rear hatch to latch. He just kept slamming it and it wouldn't go. He looks over, the old lady is stuck in there and he's slamming it against her head. She's like in tears, holding her head, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that was you." Well, she did not respond well. She just kind of got in the car and drove away. She wasn't feeling very good, but that's a sad one. But also, you had to hear him tell it. It was pretty. It was, how could you? It was like one of those things that was funny because it's like, how could you even make that mistake? Once in a while, I like to give it some gas. Well, thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. Got some blue coming up. Means there's an obstacle. A dangerous, dangerous obstacle.
Alright guys, I just wanted to thank my Patreon supporters. That would be Lance Darnell, Jim Jolson Jr., Kurt Kinghorn, Daniel Roush, Brian Thomason, Wade James, Moto Creek, Nathan Young, Jason Froling. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.